Joining us to celebrate women as we trend on women today on AM Live. Two wonderful, lovely ladies. We've got Eva. Hi. I feel like giving you a big hug. You look amazing. You look so wonderful. You look like the little princess in Frozen.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Any moment now, I keep peeping and thinking you're going to start singing, let it go, let it go. But thank you for being on the show. And of course, Magdalene, thank you for making the time to be here with us. And of course, you run an events and an events company. You're an events and management company.
Yes.
So thank you for your time.
Pleasure.
Talking about women in leadership, our previous guest, you know, she said being a leader is not about telling people what to do. It's about picking something and just doing exemplary work with it, being in service of others with what you do. So Eva, let's talk about service.
I think that's very important. I think being a leader is not just, like you said, about leading. It's also about inspiring people. I think when people are inspired and they see that you're making a difference in the world, they're inclined to follow because that's something they want to emulate, do you see? And I think as women, we have that power to inspire and to say, hey, you know, we can do these things. You know, we're not submitted or we're not oppressed just because we're women. And, you know, I'm happy to be part of the corporate world because it shows that you can be beautiful and be smart and be a leader and be, you know, in the corporate world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a very evil thought that some people have had for a very long time, that beautiful women are just beautiful, period.
Exactly.
That you're just born to be beautiful and that you are just born to be smart and that the two of them can't walk hand in hand, which is just pure evil. The two do walk hand in hand.
I think it's really good when people meet you and they say, wow, you're beautiful. You haven't spoken yet. And when you open your mouth, everybody gets their hats off. They are in awe of everything you say because you're so intelligent and it can be seen in everything that you do. And you see, as a woman, being a leader starts from being a mother. When you're a mother, you start teaching your children how to be leaders. Most of us say, I'd like to be this, like my mother, because it is what we saw. It's the leadership qualities that we saw in them. So as a woman, it starts right from, can we say the womb?
Yeah, from a very young age.
Yes, exactly.
You're already taught to take care of things, being
true.
in service of others.
That is very true.
And of course, running an events and management company, you're serving your clients. And of course, their customers.
Yes.
So what inspired you to get into events and management as opposed to, let me be an engineer?
I'm actually an accountant by profession. But you see, with accounting, there is not much you can do. 1 + 1 will always be 2. You can't make you can't change it to 200 or anything. But being an events person, it's you think on your feet. And it's things that people think cannot be done that you aim to do. Our motto is your dream, our reality. Because when you think of your wedding and you're thinking, I would like to have my wedding in a zoo, and people are telling you that can't be done, we show you that it can be done in a way that has never been done before.
So it can be done with lions and everything?
Oh my goodness.
That's what I'd want.
It actually can be done. And what we are trying to encourage people is, let's stop thinking garden weddings. You know, let's go KICC rooftop. You know, let's do places that have never
been done.
Yes, that can be done.
Clearly, you're going to be asking a lot of questions about whether it can be done.
Anything can be done, so long as you set your mind to it. So what I love about events is I can do anything that I want to do. I control my timing. And you really learn a lot from meeting people. There is only so many people you can meet in an office. But when you're out there, there are very many different people that you can meet and with different personalities. So every day is a learning curve. And events is it's just the place to be.
You're practically alive just talking about it. I'm still on the rooftop at KICC. But coming back to you, Eva. Back in the year 2009, you were crowned Miss Teen Kenya.
Yes.
And it's so easy to see why. What made you get into that pageant? Why did you run?
Actually, it was very, very funny. We were having the first graduation for Divine Schools, where I lecture. Divine Schools is a school that trains event planners like Meg. She actually was a student at our school. And
did you lecture?
No, I didn't lecture. I teach wedding planning and she did events.
Oh, right.
So it was our first graduation and I was performing on stage. We were doing a musical presentation about why you should use a wedding planner in your wedding. And Terry Mongai, the you know, the director of Miss Teen and Miss Kenya was there, and she just saw me and she's like, you just have to be Miss Teen. There's no competition, it's just you. And it was, I mean, it was an honor to be nominated, because I never even thought about running or anything, and I was in school at the time, so yeah, it was really an honor to be Miss Teen.
All right, then what happened next after Miss Teen?
After Miss Teen, I went to school. I went back to school. I was doing my diploma, and then I did my degree. And then in my last semester of my degree, I ran for Miss KCA University, where I was. And I'm the kind of person that just does things for fun. For me, it was just for the fun of it, you know. And so when I won, it took me like a few seconds to realize what has happened. And, you know, it was very, I think being Miss KCA was really good, because I was able to do so much in the school and to set an example to say that you can be beautiful and be smart at the same time. So yeah, it was really...
And we're so happy for you. And when I was reading about you, I read about your poetry and short stories.
Yes.
You know, women are full of surprises. Well, like those, what do they call it? The Trishka dolls, where you open one, then there's another doll in there, then you open another, then there's another doll in there. And we just have so many different aspects of who we are and what we're able to do. So let's talk about stories and poetry just a little bit.
I started writing when I was around 13. And we moved around a lot as a family. We were moving from different country to country. And then finally, when we were living in Mozambique, I wrote a story on HIV and AIDS. And it was the first time that I actually won an award for writing. And then that's when I realized, oh, I'm actually kind of good at this. And so I kind of just did it. In every high school that I was in, I was always writing, always doing poetry. And then after I finished, my first degree was a BCom degree, because I did want to be able to run a business, because I do run a business. I do run Divine Schools. And after that, you know, you have this burning that you have to follow your passion. You have to do something, you know. And that's when I applied to the Witwatersrand University. I didn't even think I could get in. And 2 weeks later, they're like, we've accepted you. And
awesome.
yeah,
it is a very prestigious school globally, not even just in Africa and in South Africa, but this is across the world.
Yeah, it is. And so now I'm doing my master's in English literature, and I'm also picking up educational courses, because obviously I do want to continue lecturing, and it's my passion. I love it.
No, actually, Sheila, you see, that's why she is the perfect nominee for Miss Corporate Kenya Beauty Pageant.
Before we even know, I wanted you to tell us about Miss Corporate Kenya, because there are a lot of women who are thinking, wow, she does all these things. Okay, I also do the following.
Exactly.
So when is somebody going to acknowledge me? So you can tell us about
and
Miss Corporate Kenya.
With Miss Corporate Kenya, what we are aiming to accomplish is, you see, she's 24, right? In the corporate world, she would just be beginning her career. And there is so much for her to accomplish, for her to get to the managerial post and whatever it is that she wants to do. So one of the things we are really aiming to do is to get mentorship for people like her. Because if she doesn't get mentored, then during the course of her journey, you lose track. Because some way, somewhere, motherhood will crop in. Then you start feeling, I can't do this because I have so many responsibilities. So with Miss Corporate Kenya, we're just trying to get mentorship for people, for women in the corporate industry who would like to move up. Another challenge we face is you would like to study, and if you do not have any financial background, then you can't do it. And as much as there are many institutions who give financial aid, there are people who don't have the platforms, or they need crazy securities. So with Miss Corporate, those are part of the things we should be able to do for them, give them that platform for them to get funding and sponsorships and all that. And it's also a fun way for those people to see that, you know what, she doesn't have to be just beautiful and sit there and look beautiful. When she speaks, she can represent our company, you know. She is your brand ambassador. At the end of it all, the winner should be able to stand, and when she stands, it's like a screen of so many attires. It's one piece, it's like an Ankara material that has different prints.
Going on, but they all pull together.
Yes, that is what the woman is. That is what the corporate woman is. That is what the corporate society is. So when she stands and she says, hi people, it's like Angel, is it Angel Gabriel? The one who sings in different, it's like do, re, mi, fa, you know? So you speak for several other corporates when you represent them. you're seen all over.
Right.
Yeah,
now,
so...
in speaking about the corporate world and having this pageant, is this the first time that you're hosting Miss Corporate Kenya?
Yes, this is the first time we're hosting Miss Corporate Kenya, and we aim to do it every other year. So it's been done all over the world, but in Kenya, this is the premiere, and we are really excited about it. We're so excited.
And for those who are watching, the ladies who are thinking, please,
actually,
that's me.
In a day, our mailboxes get full, and our Facebook, everybody's like, how do I become one? How do I join? How do I join? Okay, so we're actually doing it in 22 counties. It's not only in Nairobi, because corporates are not only in Nairobi, and women who are leading by example are not only in Nairobi. So we have different counties, different auditions in different counties. So we should be launching at the end of this month. We'll be so pleasured to have you there and most of our viewers.
Of course.
Yes, so we'll launch, then we'll have auditions.
What does it take and what will you be looking for? I mean, is there an age limit? Should you have only just started working? What are those fine details?
Okay,
that you'll
there is an age limit, 18 to 35. This is the reason why. This is at that stage where you need someone to hold your hand. Because once you get to 35, it is believed, I believe, everything should have been sorted by then. You know, if you're in the corporate world, you know what you want. But when you're just starting out, you need a lot of guidance. So that is why we set the age limit. Then we have conditions like you should not have had children. This is because we'll need you to do a lot of ambassadorial work. You'll be up and about everywhere. And honestly, if you have a family, then that's going to be a challenge. Yes. Part of the things is you should be well-versed with the company that you're representing. Our ideal entrant, our ideal competitor should be from a corporate. Say, Nation Media Group says, we want Sheila to be our representative. And when you stand up, you speak about Nation Media Group. One of the major things that we'll have in the contest, it's not just the beauty, it's the question and answer session, where we'll have representatives from different companies questioning you about their companies. And if it's H&J events, I would like you to talk about my events company and you know each and everything to do with it, because you're my brand ambassador. Yeah, so those are part of the things that we were looking at.
All right.
And of course, beauty.
Yes, you know, these finer details. And we live in Kenya.
Yes.
And the average Kenyan woman, I'm sorry, Eva, is slightly bigger.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. Yes.
So are you going to be looking at the physical attributes as well?
I would like her to stand up.
Okay, stand up.
Okay.
Wow, doesn't she look like a vision?
This is just to say that we are not doing the typical skinny girl that we all think models should be. Because a corporate woman, you come from...
carry stuff.
Yes, you have to carry stuff.
Your
You come from...
briefcase, which has a laptop.
They're called supporting documents.
Yes.
You have to have supporting documents in
Thank you.
So it's part of the things you're looking at. You need to take care of yourself. We also are not encouraging obesity, so we will not be picking like extremely big people, because it doesn't go in line with what you want. And you know, image is everything. If you want to be a brand ambassador, when you stand up, people should be able to, you need to have a presence. And there's so much that goes in line with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely people need to start hitting the gym.
Okay.
Not so much,
Eva,
just a bit.
I'll see you at the gym this evening.
Just a bit, yeah.
I'm just kidding though. But we've got a viewer who's joining us on the line with
Okay.
a question, perhaps a comment. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very, very fine.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
See, salimia the guests.
Yes. Basically, my name is Charles Abunya,
Yeah.
and I'm working with some corporate ladies, and I'm really inspired in what people are doing and what these ladies are doing. For example, I'm working with this lady called Violet Oyugu Pala. She's the principal of Kaimochi Girls High School.
Right.
And she's actually working out right now a mentorship program in Kaimosi, mentoring young girls in from class 8. And they're trying to relieve the tension that students, girl child, are not actually being educated that much. She's empowering them. She's not charging them a dime. And she's going throughout trying to create an awareness that the girl child can actually be protected.
Awesome. And we laud her efforts and we salute her. And when you see her, please tell her we are with her. And the door is open. When she comes to Nairobi, akuje tuketi pamoja and we can share her story.
Okay, so.
Okay, and keep up with the good work that you're doing. It's nice to know that men are also out there actively acknowledging and supporting efforts from women in bringing up other women as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charles. Which, of course, now he brings in something which we must talk about, mentoring others. You're only 24, but you've been able to achieve so much, and there's so much more that will come for you. That much I know, I can just feel it.
Yeah,
but mentoring others, is it something that you do?
It's very important. I know we started Divine Schools with my mom. My mom has been in the wedding and event industry for years. I know I always looked up to her and I said, one day I'll be, you know, just having somebody to follow and to, you know, have as an inspiration. And she's such a hard worker and she's built such a big institution from the ground up. And we've trained over 1,000 students already. And, you know, being able to lecture at the university is so important. And I think that mentoring is important because it's not only imparting knowledge, but it's also, you know, imparting life lessons as well. Because it's one thing to go and sit in a classroom and get all of this knowledge and then leave and, you know, sort of step out into the world and be lost, you know. And I think it's very important. It's a very important thing for any woman and even for any man, just to have somebody to sort of guide you along the way and sort of tell you, you know, this is what you should expect and this is how you should deal with things. I think you make less mistakes and you grow a lot faster. You will obviously have a lot of bumps along the way, and
you have to
exactly
experience on your own. But having a mentor helps you make up time a lot faster than not knowing these mistakes, and then you spend a lot more time fumbling and making.
Especially for the young, mentoring is really important. I'll give a perfect example of myself. When I decided to quit my 8 to 5 for events, I signed up at the school. And her mom, who is my mentor,
as well,
immediately on signing up, she said, I will mentor you. And I was so jazzed. I was like, this great woman, I've heard about her. I know so much about her. How can she just give herself to mentor me, you know, work with me, be my professional mother? And with everything, she's been with me throughout and just telling me, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. You know, it said it's good to learn from experience. But you realize you may never live long enough to go through all those experiences
if you have to go through each experience,
it's
very painful.
Exactly. So it's good to learn from other people's experiences. And they tell you, right ahead there's a ditch. You can go over it or you can go around it. You know a way to work with it. And it's important, like the lady from Pearl, she's doing mentoring for students, children, standard 8 and all that. What you don't realize is this needs to be done from right down there. Because when you're grown up like now, there is not so much someone can do to influence your decisions. But when you're growing up, there is a lot. When things that your parents were telling you, this is what you should do, you find that those are the things that you're doing now. So we need to also mentor the young children. And one of the things our brand ambassador will be doing is to talk to those children, take them through programs, etiquette programs, how to sit up, how to talk, how to be presentable. You know, those are part of the things that we need to work, because imagine if she's all this beautiful with all that knowledge and this is the position she's sitting in. What would you think? You know,
I'd be worried. Did you eat breakfast? Do you need something to eat?
Exactly. So mentorship starts from right from the grassroots, and it's one of the things that we need to focus on. When we talk of kind of mentorship and examples, when you go to the shop to buy petroleum jelly, do you ask for petroleum jelly? What do you say?
I ask for my Vaseline.
Exactly. Exactly. You ask for Vaseline. And this is why. It's what you've been using from way then. That is what they know. You know, when you're going to buy diapers, you don't say, I want diapers. You say, I want Pampers. Because that's what you know. It's the same thing we should use to instill this knowledge and just good examples to our children and to our children's children.
All right.
Yes.
And in your positions, I'm sure you're actively engaged in that, but there's something I'd like us to chat about very quickly as we get ready to wind up. The corporate world is not an easy place for a woman. You both agree.
Yes. And a few stories.
But It is the right place to be for a woman, especially if that is where you have been called, but it will take for you to toughen up very quickly.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about some of the pitfalls of the corporate world that young ladies, especially ladies who are thinking, I'm so ready for this life, people who just got their first job, and what they were told and what they're experiencing are two different things. We talk about that right after we touch base with a viewer who's calling us right now. Hello. Good morning. Hola.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Hi.
This is Johnson from Tikale.
Yes, Johnson.
Yeah. I'm in business. Is it true that most professional women...
Could you please speak up?
Is it true that most professional women
Yeah.
eventually come together?
Okay, I think we're going to have to try and
In the
call you
house.
back because we can't hear you very clearly.
I think it's true that...
Okay, I think we need to call him back.
Yeah.
Okay, Johnson, we're going to call you back because that line is... We just
quite
can
good.
barely hear you.
Yeah.
But talking about the pitfalls for women in corporate world, let's start with you, Eva.
It is a very difficult place to be. And it's not to say that it's not a place for a woman. Any place is a place for a woman.
Even
I believe
space.
even space. Yeah, I mean, I find it so amazing when I meet people like matatu touts who are women, or mechanics who are women, or truck drivers who are women. But it is a difficult place to be. You really have to be someone who is strong. You have to be someone who has integrity and who has values and morals, and you know what you want and you're focused on that. Because when you are trying to rise up in the corporate world and you're trying to make a name for yourself, or you're trying to find sort of like your standing, it's very easy to be thrown off balance, And so you always have to, not only be strong in yourself, but also have people around you, like Meg was saying, a mentor who's also sort of like keeping you on track.
Accountable.
Exactly. So whenever you're having, even when I have business problems, I will speak to Meg, or if I'm having issues, planning events or teaching a class, I know the people to call. And I think that's also something that women need to know, is also know the kind of people you have around you, the kind of friends. You have that friend who is a friend for business problems. You have a friend who's a friend for relationship issues, a friend for family issues. You can't have all your friends dealing with the same types of issues. You have to know that there's someone who has been in the corporate world, who has gone through these things, and who has that experience, so that when you're having sort of like, turbulence, someone is like, hey, listen, okay, this is what I think you should do. Remember, this is where you want to go. This is your vision. This is your goal. And I think when you have a vision in your mind and you've seen, this is what I want to be, this is how I want my life to be, this is how I want to be seen in the corporate world, it's very difficult for you to sort of fall off the rails. It's very, very difficult, but it does require someone who's strong, someone who you can persevere through it.
And it takes some dedication and some discipline, knowing that no matter what, you're going to sweat it out.
Exactly.
Integrity too.
Yes.
You don't want to be that girl who sacrificed her brain because you had the beauty.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
You never want to be
That is
that
true,
girl.
that's true.
Exactly.
Your work, I think. And it's very important. And I love that you have said thank you and acknowledge mothers in this equation. Because whatever your mother teaches you is what you will carry all the days of your life. My mother taught me, your work should always speak for yourself.
Exactly.
Yes, people have seen you, but when they put your work on the table, what does it say? Your work must always, always, always speak for you.
Yeah.
Beauty is nice and great, but that God gave you. What do you do with your hands, with
Even
your craft
hard
every
work,
day?
actually.
Yes.
And actually, funny enough, it's true when they say that a woman has to work twice as hard than a man. That is true. I'm sorry, it may be a cliche or a quote, but it's true. You'll find that sometimes when I'm at work, I wouldn't even remember to eat lunch. Or I will be there and it's 8 o'clock at night and I'm still busy, but things have to get done. And your work has to be exemplary, exactly what you said. When people see, you won't even have to insist that I'm a woman or I'm the manager or I'm the CEO. You'll just be there gracefully and beautiful, and your work will be
right there,
excellent.
speaking for you,
for itself,
if not singing for you.
Exactly.
That is the reason why I have so much passion for the event industry, because as an event manager, I know it that I do not have to be seen everywhere when I'm planning your wedding, or it's a show that we're putting together. You do not need to see me there to know that it's happening. You're seeing the work that's being done. And the most beautiful thing about it is now when it comes to people acknowledging your efforts and they see, oh, it's a woman. And people go like, oh, wow, this could only be done by a woman, you know.
Right.
So it really encourages you. And speaking from a point of a mother's view, I'm a mother of 2. And having been in a corporate industry, I worked there for like 5 years. One of the challenges is as you go along, you tend to lose focus a lot. Because yes, the more you work, the more your pay goes higher and you're thinking there's money, so that's just about it. But you realize for you to be able to progress, you need to get in more knowledge. And that's why if you go to evening classes, you'll see that the majority are women. Women. Because we want to get there, and we don't want to get there because someone thinks you're beautiful. I don't want to get a job on the merit that I'm just beautiful, you know. So someone says, oh, Sheila is so pretty, let's just get her.
Do the,
yes, and then you get there, you cannot deliver
Then you have
anything.
an accident, and then something happens to the pretty. What happens next?
Exactly.
I think it also comes down to character.
Yeah.
I think it's very important that as a woman, you earn your respect. People need to see you when you walk into a room. Yes, you may be beautiful and you may have a figure and everything, but you're a respectable person. And I think especially when you're working in the corporate world, when you're working with men, you need to be someone that is respected. So you can't be having loose morals and sort of, you know, doing sorts of shady things. You have to be a person of integrity.